Hi guys, welcome back to Gold Rush. I didn't take out my idea book today. I'm a dork. Anyway, so I'm trying to think of soccer news that I have seen while I drink my coffee. So in terms of soccer news, we learned, or no, I say we learned. It's not like we're in school over here. But some of the things we saw, obviously we saw Becky Sauerbrunn replace, I think, Alana Cook for the Women's Gold Cup. And then, because she had like a minor injury, and then we saw Maya Fishel had I can't talk today. I just did a podcast and I can't talk. She tore her ACL during training, which also kind of shows like the ongoing problem in, at least for women's soccer, and all these athletes before major tournaments tearing their ACLs, which we'll get to in a minute. But Alex Morgan had replaced her on the Gold Cup roster. Also, I'm looking at the England score and it says England and Austria England's 2-up. I don't know if that's men's or women's. That's just what it shows on my tablet. So I saw that, in case anyone's wondering. Inter Miami is number 1 in the Eastern Conference of the MLS. Obviously, they just went up. They won 2-0 against Real Salt Lake, which was great. And then, I'm trying to think. I know like the NWSL season's going to start up soon. At least I know for like, they started up the Coachella Valley preseason tournament. It's like an invitational. I don't think the Thorns have started, but I do know that I think it was Bay City FC or Bay FC or whatever the new one is. I've lost track, guys. I'm sorry. And San Diego Wave. San Diego Wave coming up on top with a 2-1 score. That was a fun. That one, I'm like honestly excited for new teams, but sometimes it is hard to keep up. And then you had the U.S. Women's National Team won 5-0 against the Dominican Republic. So that's and I think people will say that is like a commanding win. Obviously, I was reading that the coach wanted their like interim head coach wanted to see more. So hopefully more of that to come when they play Mexico. And obviously Mexico is looking to get some more points because I think it was a draw with Argentina because they both had 1 point, so which means I think there was a draw. And obviously the U.S. Women's National Team is up on that one. So that's pretty cool. But in terms of like ACL injuries, like Maya Fishel just had, if anyone remembers last year we had all these people like before major tournaments, like some big name players too, tearing their ACLs like right before the World Cup. And a lot of that had to kind of do with like, or at least a lot of people are speculating it's like overwork. Like too many games too close to each other. Like even with World Cup games being too close to their club teams, So, a lot of it, they still speculate, is overwork, and we're kind of starting to see it again with overwork and ACL injuries. So, let's hope that we can, hopefully we don't have more people tearing their ACLs. But in the good news, you do have people who did tear their ACLs like right back before the World Cup, who are actually starting to come back. So which is pretty cool. And hopefully some of those players you will get to see at the Olympics. I know there are some big name teams that aren't going to be at the Olympics, but you know they're still gonna, obviously. I'm trying to think. I've been having a lot of trouble phrasing words today, guys. But a lot of it, hopefully, there will be players. And, you know, you'll get to see some big name players actually be at the Olympics. Even though, like, for, you know, in terms of, like, major tournaments, the Olympics is nothing really compared to the World Cup, because obviously the World Cup is just specific to soccer. And obviously that's what people say is the main tournament. So, like, obviously, of course, you want to win games. That no one goes into a game being like, I want to lose. No one does that. And then, anyway, and also what I was going to talk about in the last few episodes that didn't get posted because we were having technical difficulties. You have what they're introducing and what they're going to start trialing in, like, I'm not sure if it's going to be all of, like, soccer or if it's just going to be, like, a Europe thing for now, but they're going to be testing out blue cards. Now, the difference between all the cards here, so you got yellow, you're going to have yellow, you're still going to have the yellow and red, but they're also adding the addition of blue cards. So obviously the yellow card is like a caution. It's like a caution to kind of, you know, watch what you're doing. Everyone knows that the red card is obviously like dangerous play. Get the hell off the field. With the blue card, and I know they use sometimes in like indoor, so I know like a little bit. I've never seen one, but like I know with like some indoor clubs they like play. They use them. It's like you get like a 10-minute suspension, and then you can get back on the field. But I don't know exactly like what the rule on blue cards are, because that just seems a little weird to me to give like blue card and they're off for 10 minutes. Like is there any like player that's kind of exempt from it, like your goalkeeper? Like, because usually in a red card situation you have someone who plays in goal, you know, for the remainder of the game. Like you have a field player who gets on the, you know, who goes in goal. But I just don't see that happening with a blue card, because it does take a minute to go play in goal, because the goalkeeper has to wear a distinct jersey. So I'm just like not 100% on that one. And how that's gonna work, and like how many times you can get a blue card, because some people might have some fun with that. I mean, as fun as that sounds, there might be some people who are just like, blue card, blue card, blue card, blue card. Like, I could really see how fun that could be. And also in terms of, like, safety, too. Because, obviously, I'm not much sure about, like, Europe, but I know with, like, the NWSL and the MLS, they had problems with, like, keeping players safe, because some players were playing really reckless, and the refs really weren't doing much. Like they would get hit in the face, like kicked in the face. Like obviously, yes, shit happens, but what people need to realize is sometimes you don't need to go like reckless all the time, reckless with your tackles all the time. Like you don't really need to be doing that. But I could see what would happen with a blue card is like, show someone a blue card. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, like when you get attention in school, did you ever freaking learn from it? Like some players just may not learn from that mistake. And I know the same thing is like said with like red cards too. Because it could just be like a pure frustration thing that you do. So it is gonna be kind of interesting to see, like kind of see some like, I'm guessing we're going to see some funny memes. So, yeah, I think we're going to see some, like, pretty funny memes to begin. But, yeah, do hope you guys kind of enjoyed this small little episode. Kind of talking about blue cards, talking about ACL injuries. And I will see you guys next week with a new episode of Gold Rush. Peace.